Hello everyone, this is Tactical here and welcome to another Total War Warhammer 2 online multiplayer replay. Today we'll be looking at another battle I played on the same corn-themed tournament hosted by Human Boys Yes, this time against Kark, who I believe is a Twitch streamer from Korea and a very good player. Now for army builds, we'll be playing as Chaos and with a whole infantry frontline of Chaos Marauders led by Prince Sigvold over here, also with a couple aspiring champions for support. At the back we have reserve units of 2 Chaos Warriors with halberds as well as a Chaos Sorcerer of Metal, bringing in Plague of Rust and Transmutation of Lead. On the left flank, this is where our mobility will be. Our 4 Marauder Horsemen with some chevrons on them as well as a couple Chaos Warhounds with poison. On the right flank, our aggressive infantry, Free Forsaken, hoping to punch through the zombies and get into the gun lines of the zombie pirates. As for Kark, he brought a very good counter against the Chaos Warriors. Over here in the skies we have 4 deck droppers, 2 on each flank, great against skirmishing cavalry as the thrown javelins do not have the best time making contact with flying units due to trajectory, while the flying bats do have the high ground here, gunning down the squishy Marauder horsemen as they fly away. As for the infantry, we have 8 zombie pirate daggerhand morphs, 4 regular variant and 4 of them there's a polearm variant. In the middle, the centerpiece of this build, we have 3 sirens. Very important as I do not have any fire damage spells over here as well as Flaming Sword of Ruin. So all I have for magic damage are these aspiring champions, and with the 75% physical resistance of these sirens, they can basically hold down most of my front line with their ethereal bodies. Especially these Forsaken, who will be a great threat against zombies. So for the rest of the build, we have some zombie pirate gunnery mobs with handguns, and the biggest of guns, Queen Bess, come in with the oversized barrel loaded with explosives, ready to pound down my infantry with Undead Fury. Now we also have Salustra Direfin here, bringing in a bunch of crab summoning spells and also summoning Knights of the Damned, and that's basically it for army builds. Let's get a battle started and see how it goes. The battle begins with Queen Bess roaring into life, sending explosive barrels into a formation of the Chaos Warriors. While on the left flank, due to the presence of all the Chaos mobility, the deck droppers also moved over, using their bullets to pepper down the Marauder Horsemen. As you can see here, the counterfire from the Marauder Horsemen isn't exactly effective against the deck droppers. A lot of shots are missing, and due to a trajectory problem, they're gonna suffer a massive disadvantage in this skirmishing game, although the numbers does help against the less numerous deck droppers. While at the back, Kark left quite a huge gap in their formations, and allowing these Chaos Warhounds to pounce onto the artillery crew, but fortunately for him, the undead crew is unbreakable, and with the crew on the outside fending off the Chaos Warhounds, the crew on the inside are still able to continuously fire Queen Bess, pounding down the Chaos Infantry with the explosive barrels. And in the middle, the frontline engagement is truly on the way, and let's slow down a bit due to all the action going on right now. In the front line, Salustra is dropping all their attack debuffs onto the Chaos units, so even if aspiring champions have magic attack, they're not landing any hits on these sirens, due to them suffering massively in terms of melee attack. And with Fog of the Damned and Song of Enthronement, they're down to 0 attack, as do these Chaos Marauders, so they're not doing any damage whatsoever. But in contrast, Salustra Direfin, being a character, a single entity with really high weapon strength, 400 armor piercing and anti-infantry, she's feasting on Prince Sigvold the Magnificent, despite his high melee defense right now. As I've showcased on another video before, single entities with high weapon strength is the greatest weakness of Prince Sigvold, as their attack will be totally absorbed by Prince Sigvold, and also their high weapon strength will means that the guy has minimal time to regenerate. With a single entity hunting him down like that and trying to pressure him with brute force, Sigvold do not have the time it needs to slowly grind out enemy's army, especially now he has all the debuffs on him thanks to Salustra. At the back, we have some Chaos Warhounds getting routed off as the zombie pirate deckhand mobs as well as sirens converging onto this unit who is getting pinned down by the artillery crew, and now terrified they're running for the hills. While on the flank, some Forsaken are trying to flank around but now getting caught by the faster siren unit. Now guys, let's go back to normal speed as some summons are going down in the middle with traps just trying to hold the middle as long as possible. These Chaos Warriors are rushing into combat trying to support their lord Prince Sigvald, who is now isolated and surrounded by hostile infantry and monsters alike. The armor-piercing attacks of the Sirens and Salastra's high weapon strength really doing him a number here. Good news is, the gun lines are now shut down by the Chaos Marauders, but I also mismicro these Warhounds as they are caught in combat against the zombie pirate deckhand mobs. Now, getting mixed in these kinds of combat, they will have a hard time pulling out, and yeah, not doing themselves any favor here, as they're just getting dragged down by melee combat. While over here, the deck droppers seems to be having a tough time pushing off these Marauder Horsemen, but no doubt there will be some units surviving in the end, as the Marauder Horsemen are now so very low in terms of health. While in the middle, more summons are going down as the Knights of the Damned are pushing out, focusing down the Chaos Sorcerer, and more crabs are summoned in the middle. And now with all that summoned, bringing in all the terror and fear from the units themselves, the Chaos Warriors are terrified. Only the aspiring champions are still holding, but without enough numbers, they're not doing too much damage. Maybe cutting down these Sirens, but that's basically it. While at the back, some Forsaken finally got into the Queen Bess crew, but they're still firing. Somehow, still firing with all the deckhand mobs cushioning the charges from the Forsaken. While the Sirens are coming in from the back, the Forsaken are just getting dragged down in melee combat and also pinned by the faster and also tougher Siren unit. We have some dogs coming back trying to pounce onto the artillery crew and shut it down, but with all the zombie units buffering, their efforts are to no avail, as the explosives continues to rain down into the melee combat in the middle, pounding down whatever chaos units that are remaining in the fight. Without any mass or heavy infantry in the middle, no cavalry and whatnot, there's nothing stopping Salastra from pushing through the melee engagement and chase after Prince Sigvald. So now, Prince Sigvald is just running for his life, trying to find whatever shelter he can get in terms of infantry cover, but alas, it's just too little, too late right now. He's routing with only 134 HP left. Yes, he's regenerating, but also there are deckhand mobs up in the skies, focusing him down. No doubt will use their armor-piercing bullets to snipe him. And all that's left for the Chaos Warriors are some very tattered infantry. Chaos Marauders, no doubt will get routed. They do okay against zombies, but they simply do not have the leadership to hold. Chaos Warriors with halberds, they are now just charging into combat against armor-piercing Sirens. Not gonna be a good time for them. One shot from the Queen Bess breaks 3 Marauder Horsemen units, so no more anti-air fire. The deck droppers are now free to pepper down whatever targets they see fit. While in the middle, Chaos Warriors are routed by the mere presence of Salastra Direfin, as do these aspiring champions who are now running for the hills as well, following the footsteps of their comrades, not being so inspiring at all despite being the encouraging unit in the roster. All that's left for Chaos Warriors are some very tattered Chaos Warriors with halberds, and also this one single Chaos Sorcerer of Metal who is routed by the gunshots from the zombie death droppers. And with the rout of the last remaining Chaos Warrior halberd unit, the undead claims victory, and today the pirate's flag shall fly high. Now, before we look into the army performances, I would like to thank you for watching this replay, and I hope you enjoy the content. If you do, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe, as I will be regularly uploading content on Total War Warhammer 2 online multiplayer, including wild builds, tips and strategies, as well as general battle replays like this one. And if you have some replays that you are particularly proud of and want to showcase, feel free to drop by my Discord or send me an email and share me the replay. I'll be sure to look into it and see if I can make a video out of it. So with that out of the way, let's look into the army performances. For the Chaos army over here, the front line got quite a bit of kills, but mostly on zombies, so not a lot of value. The Chaos Sorcerer, no damaging spells, of course, so no value on him. And Prince Sigvald, not performing too well, being hammered by the giant fat lady crab. Prince Sigvald is just going back to Mami Slaanesh and cry his eyes out. As for the rest of the Chaos Infantry here, the aspiring champions, as always, never pays for themselves. This one probably killed off the Siren, so got a bit more value, while the Forsaken, not performing too well either, not even covering their value, as they were mostly killing zombie pirates, deckhand mobs, very cheap, and they didn't manage to do too much damage against the Sirens. Chaos Halberd units getting hammered by a lot of ethereal units with their armor piercing, as well as the crabs. So not too good on them as well. especially getting terrified and routed in the middle of the combat. Marauder Horseman didn't manage to recover their value as well. This one almost did, but still, with all the gunfire focusing them down from the skies, from the gunners and whatnot, they just suffered way too many losses before actually paying back for themselves. Mobility wise, I mismicroed one of the dog units, while the other dog unit didn't manage to finish off the team of Queen Bess, so they barely managed to pay back their costs. This one did not. For the zombie pirate side, everything were performing rather well here. Zombie deckhand mobs, of course, they are just zombies, so didn't really manage to do too much here. But the Zyrenes, 694 here, 586 and 300, not a lot of damage, but most importantly, they held the line and basically held back my forces, preventing them from getting into Queen Bess, who got almost 2,000 damage here. Managed to fire all their ammo, continuously firing even under melee pressure. Somehow the zombie crewmen managed to hold the line using their unbreakable trait, holding on until reinforcements arrived and fend off the dogs. I feel like this is partly why undead crewmen on artillery are so annoying, because normally you have fragile crewmen that can be easily routed from the guns. After that, you don't have to worry about bombardment anymore, but with undead, they just don't rout. Instead, they keep fighting on until your units get overcommitted and get caught by other reinforcements from your opponents. Also, my opponent has really good micro on the deck droppers. These ones died, but this deck dropper with handguns, the more expensive variant, and also armor piercing, managed to get 1,563 value, focusing down my key targets, especially Prince Sigvold in the end, finishing him off once and for all. Most certainly focus him down during the middle of the combat as well. Did some really nice heavy lifting. Zombie Pirate Gunnery mob not doing too much here, still managed to get some value as they got shut down early. Solastra Diaphin, 1,500 value, but most of her value isn't from the damage she did, but more from the debuffs, the attack debuffs on my melee blob. Lowering their attack to 0, not allowing them to punch through the front line, and also her summons. The crab summons, the Damn Knight Errant summons, they are just so powerful. The crabs do armor piercing damage, also being really tanky, holding the line for forever, while the Damn Knight Errant coming in with rear charges, breaking my units. And don't forget, Salastra herself almost finished off Prince Sigvold. So overall, my opponent has a really nice build here, countering the chaos, appropriately microing a lot of his units, while I made some pretty terrible mistakes with my hounds, with my army pigs, with my magic pigs, and a very good game overall, especially how he protected the Queen Bess, preventing me from completely shutting it down. I swear, he might even just open up Queen Bess as a kind of lure to drag in my hounds, let me just dump my hounds in and surround it with halberds afterwards, and in the end, successfully routing and severely damaging my hounds. That's only a speculation, but who knows, maybe he actually planned it out. Anyways, that's all I have for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Tactical Lich, signing out.